Joining us, the head coach of the Cavaliers, Dane Damron. We move on now. Week 5 of the college football season. UVA is set this weekend to take on Lenoir-Rhyne in its annual homecoming game. Coach, before we talk about the Bears, let's look back quickly on the Carson Newman game, 33-7 victory. And the thing that stands out to me, your defense continuing to make big plays, sacks, forcing turnovers, but you got your running game going, offensive line blocked well. And you may have found a running back there that can kind of lead this group, take the bull by the horns, and Gillespie, offensive player of the week in sack.
Yeah, I thought Javon was fantastic. And, as you mentioned it right off the bat, the defense was huge against the run. I think they just had 70-some yards of rushing for the game. And a couple of those were on quarterback draws. So we defended the veer very well. I don't think there was a time where we didn't have somebody on all 3 phases of that, means having somebody on the dive, the pitch, and the quarterback. And so I thought they did a great job. Some things that we still have to clean up. There's a couple of people running wide open that they didn't get the ball to. But, when you spend so much time devoted to trying to stop the running game, things like that happen. But I thought our kids played tremendous. I thought they answered the bell because, as we know, the week before we were about as bad as you could possibly be. And so I thought they rebounded well. It's a credit to our captains for some of the things that they said during the week, and our young men and our coach are doing a great job of getting ready to play.
Coach, a few years ago, ended the season on a really high note, beating Shepherd, which I thought was one of the bigger wins that we've had since you've been here. That was the last game of the season. To me, with Carson Newman, the history they've had, that's a big win for this program. But now it's right in the middle of the year. How do you bottle that momentum, build off that, and carry it in here, not just against Lenoir-Rhyne, but the rest of the season?
Well, I think you just got to show them, the things that we've been harping on that they did and the fruits that it produced. I thought our kids did an incredible job on the things that we emphasized during the week, and that showed. And I think you've just got to take those and build upon those. Like I said, defensively, we were rock solid. It'd be hard to have a better game than Joe Burgess and DeAndre Williams had. And they did a great job. They took their coach and they applied it on the field, and that's the main thing. So we just got to take what we did right, keep emphasizing it, and keep pounding that into them. And when they're wrong, just be honest with them. Say we got to get this correct.
Playing the number 16th ranked team in the country, preseason, perennial favorite in the South Atlantic Conference, Lenoir-Rhyne this weekend. And they got a coach that we're familiar with, and Coach Jacobs, in the days at Notre Dame. I'm looking forward to this one because every time we faced him when he was at Notre Dame, those were one-possession games.
Well, they were good games. They got some really good players here at Lenoir-Rhyne, just like they had at Notre Dame. And so I think that whoever decided to play Lenoir-Rhyne as our homecoming game here at UVA needs to have their head examined. That's not generally the typical game that you want to play. But they're fantastic. They're so sound on offense and defense. Defensively, they're fast, and they're very much like his teams he had at Notre Dame. They're very well coached. I think Mike does an incredible job. We're gonna have our work cut out for us. As I've jokingly said, we're in the SEC West part of our schedule right now. We've gone from playing Texas A&M, now we're playing Alabama, and then after Alabama we get to play LSU, Newberry. So this 3-game stretch right here is just crazy, and our kids are going to have to be dialed in, and just like we were against Carson Newman, they're going to have to be dialed in and ready to go. But this is a tall task. I think our kids are looking forward to it. And anytime you bring a nationally ranked team into your house, that if that doesn't get your blood flowing, you don't love football.
Coach, second week in a row, rushing attack to me has got to be the focal point for you guys to stop and run. Coach Jacobs always seems to have a strong rushing attack, and he's got a freshman down there in McGee leading the conference in rushing. Talk about the rushing attack for Lenoir-Rhyne and maybe some things that they're doing similar or different now with Jacobs compared to the last time we saw him a couple of years ago, because we didn't play him during the pandemic.
Yeah, like I said, I think they're very similar. Offensively, he's always been very multiple. His coordinator came with him from Notre Dame. I don't know. I think his offensive coordinator may have got the job at Notre Dame, but his offensive line coach came with him. So I think they're a little bit more multiple than they've been. The quarterback for them, he's just a really, really good football player. He so many times the term game manager is wrong for some reason, because all game managers do is win. But he he does manage the game incredibly well, makes a lot of good throws, and gets them into the right plays. And so I'm thoroughly impressed with their quarterback. That big number one, that wide receiver they have is pretty. He looks, he's one of the top receivers in the league. I like our kids that we have, but I know he is really good. And so offensively, they are very sound, very multiple, and so we will have to stop the run. I don't know what it is about Coach Jacobs, but he just breeds running backs for some reason. Because he had a McLaughlin kid that the last time we faced him at Notre Dame, and I remember after that game thought we'd done a great job of stopping him. He had 180. So they're good. They're every bit what is advertised. So we're going to have to play real well to have a chance to win this one.
Coach, they may be pretty. We'll hope on Saturday that the Cavaliers are the prettiest ones on the field. How about that?
That would be really good. I'm happy with our kids. I think that they took what we've been trying to tell them and they applied it. And as you said, that was a big win for us. There's no question about that. Was it bigger than the Shepherd? I don't know. It is right now because it's the one that just happened. But, we got to take what we learned in preparation for that week and then apply it to this week, because that's what it boils down to. When you practice good, you generally play good. And, we had a great week of practice. And so, we're excited. We understand the task that's at hand, but we're excited about it and look forward to it.
Fans kick off homecoming 2021, 2 p.m. from Smith Stadium against the nationally ranked Bears. Coach, good luck, and we'll catch up after the game.
Thanks, Darryl.